Hello there and welcome to Adie Asks. Today I'm bringing you another fantastic show and we've got another amazing guest. Today joining me we have Ray from RaysWorks. Hello sir, how are you?
Hello, Adie.
Thank you first of all very much for joining us on the show. We will of course be adding all of your details into the description for the fine folks at home, but just for anybody who hasn't already come across you and your channel, could you just give us a little bit of an insight into what it is you do in the world of Minecraft?
Yeah, I'm RaysWorks, and I do what's known as like technical Minecraft, where I focus on like survival aspects of a vanilla survival world, but I try to see what is the most extreme things that can be done within these constraints. So it's a lot of kind of asking questions like, why does this work? Or what can we learn from this? And how can we use this to build and discover new things in the game?
Fantastic. And how long is it that you've actually been playing the game yourself? Are you somebody who's relatively new or have you been playing the game for quite some time?
Yeah, I've actually been playing it since the very beginning. This is actually my 12th year of playing Minecraft. I've been playing it almost daily for that long. And
Wow.
it has changed a lot over the 12 years since the very beginning when it was pretty much just like a creative place couple blocks game until now where it's a lot of survival aspects to it.
In that time, what was it that got you started back in the day? So obviously that's you're clearly one of the original players who's been following the Minecraft through its journey and, as you mentioned, through its progression. But what was it that first made you think, oh, I'd like to give that a try?
Yeah, well, it back then it was mostly us looking for games online that were free to play and that would save our progress. And Minecraft was free at the time, and it had this really sketchy website, but you could log on to there, and it would say like, so many people are currently playing at the moment. And I remember one time it said 500 people are playing. I thought, wow, there's currently now 500 people playing this game with me, and that seemed like a huge number at the time. But that was a couple of weeks into me playing, and that number used to be like, often quite small. But you'd have to play on the website. It was very different back then.
And when you started playing, obviously a lot of the technical aspects that you focus on now, Ray, weren't really in the game. Were you?
Yeah.
Can you remember when you started playing what your first base was?
So back then it was like creative only kind of thing.
Yeah.
There wasn't really survival, but I actually I guess one of the first things that, a lot of times you log into these worlds when they did add servers they were just anarchy. Everything was anarchy. But I
Yeah.
guess I would say the first build of mine was kind of like living with someone else. And eventually, when they did add survival, one of the first survival things I built in survival was like a sand house. Obviously, the ceiling wasn't sand, but it was mostly just to keep mobs from killing me.
And you touched on there the fact that you've played almost daily ever since then. What is it that keeps you coming
Yeah.
back to the game?
I think because the sandbox and the creativity, there's no wrong way to play Minecraft, and I
No.
think that what lets like the creative side of my brain really expand and do things that I would never even think I could do myself.
And in that time that you were playing, then you mentioned that it was. Have you always been a creative builder, or have you dabbled in survival back at the start as well? Or
So yeah, so ever since they added survival, I have been doing survival, but actually at the very beginning, the creative build really didn't interest me that much. People are doing pixel art, like the flat pixel art.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a big thing back then, and I don't know, that wasn't really my thing. I was really into making like bases back then, and that was kind of frowned upon. Obviously, in these communities that were just building pixel art.
in all that time that you've been playing, is there one time when you've had a death in the game that's kind of stuck out to you that might have caused you some stress, or that first encounter with a creeper or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, I got quite a few. Let's see. One big one was kind of when they added survival mode,
Yeah.
and it was really new. And I remember the big thing was the nights. You couldn't sleep away nights. There was no beds back then, no respawning, and it was like trying to find a safe place. I remember me and a couple of my siblings. We found this. It was kind of a hangover. There wasn't like as many caves kind of back then, but there was this hangover mountain, and I remember we built this like wall on the edge of it to kind of encave ourselves in and to protect ourselves. And we made this like kind of ledge, and the mobs were on the outside. And I was so scared. I was thinking the mobs like, oh, are the mobs gonna spawn on top of the trees? Because we had a tree near our base, and it was really scary.
And you mentioned there that obviously the game's changed quite a bit. Have you got a one update that's been your favorite for the type of stuff that you do? One thing that sticks out in all of those changes that you've seen over those many years?
Ooh, I'd say 1.5 because that was the Redstone update,
Uh, the
and the hoppers were just so big.
Unfortunately, that was before I myself started playing the game, so I'm more recent to the game. But I've heard various other Redstoners that I've spoken about saying how much of a difference that made to everything that they were doing, because it wasn't just a chest anymore. There was different ways that
Hmm.
you could fill it. In the time that you have been playing, Ray, is there any one thing that, of all the stuff that you've built, all of the contraptions, all of the farms, all of the bases, that stands out to you as your favorite ever build?
Ooh, that is a common question. I would say probably my beacon farm because it it took me a long time to design it, and it was a course over 4 years I worked on it, and I was really proud when I finished it. And more recently, I came up with a newer version of the beacon farm that's a lot simpler and kind of does everything that the old one does, but much easier with the new additions that have been added to the game and cool stuff like that.
So, whilst obviously you've been playing for a while, but there must have been one point when you decided that actually playing the game wasn't enough and that you were going to start creating content and making YouTube videos and streaming. What was it that made you decide to start that content creation?
Yeah, it was more of like people constantly asking me to make videos. I played on a couple different survival servers,
Mm.
and I would, design weird things and build different things, and people would be like, "Oh, where's a tutorial on YouTube for this?" And I'd be like, "Oh, there isn't because this is something I designed myself." And they'd be like, "Oh, you should really make a video about this." And to me, I enjoyed just designing things. It didn't really matter to me that I wanted to share with people. And because of that, I felt like I didn't really want to go into making videos, but people kept saying, other people would enjoy this and, you should really share this with other people. And it made sense because after a while, I just constantly had to keep like, people would ask like, oh, how do you do this? And then a different person would come in and then I would try to explain to them like how it works and stuff like that. And it did make sense to start making videos because then I could make a video and then I could send that to these people that ask about it and then they could all be informed. Otherwise, I was spending like hours each day just reciting the same thing over about how different things worked in the game. So yeah, in the end, it was very beneficial to start making videos showing like how my different machines and farms worked.
In the time that you've been doing the YouTube thing, what would you say is the hardest thing about doing and making YouTube content?
Yeah, I think trying to get everybody up to speed because like I've been playing the game for like 12 years and
Mm.
there's a lot of things that I've seen and a lot of knowledge that I acquired over the years. So when I like show something, obviously there's a lot of everybody pretty much is newer to Minecraft than me. So there's a lot of questions that people have and sometimes because I've been playing so long, I forget to mention things that just seem kind of obvious to me, and I have to kind of remember to take a step back and explain stuff so everybody understands. I think that's the hardest thing to do is constantly like trying to keep everybody up to
Yeah,
date where I'm currently at.
yeah, and just putting yourself in their shoes and kind of going back to basics for things that you take for granted, really,
Yeah.
because you've been playing for so long. In the time that you've been playing the game, was there, and obviously doing the YouTube thing as well, was there one video or one event that you felt kind of pushed your YouTube channel through to the next level?
Yeah. For most part, my YouTube channel has been very slow and steady gain. But I had some really big ones. Like one time I made a April Fool's video showing that you can put armor onto villagers. Now, it's a kind of a funny thing that people like to do during April Fool's. Some people like to actually make fake videos, and some people like to make real videos, but then kind of portray them as being fake, so people get fooled either way. And that's what I was doing. This actually was a real thing in the game. You could really put armor on villagers, but people just didn't know it. And it was something I came across when I was trying to make a automatic dragon killing machine. It's kind of weird, but in the end, I figured out that I could put armor on villagers, make them hit the dragon. They could do some damage because they had Thorns armor, and then I could eventually kill the dragon. But I thought as a funny joke, I would do it for April Fools. And it turns out YouTube liked that kind of upbeat, fast-paced video. It's like in a commercial kind of style. So it's kind of like a commercial if you watch the video, and people liked it. So it gained traction, and I think it's over 3 million views now. It's somewhere in a couple million views.
Wow, that's well. It's safe to say that your channel has been growing from strength to strength. Certainly, in the time that I've been following you, I've seen that grow, and the quite often you hear on other series that they're using one of your designs to build things. I mean, that must be quite nice when you do hear about people who are spreading the word and making the most of the things that you've actually created.
Yeah, I'm always surprised at like how, to me, I feel like I'm just like one small person, but I kind of surprised at what impact I have on others. I mostly do this for fun, and it's nice to give something to other people, but I never expected like so many people to be like fascinated and interested in the same thing that I do, because at one point technical Minecraft was nobody cared about. People just thought you were like using hack clients or cheating. People were like, oh, you're just cheating, and it's like, no, these are real things in the game. You just, they're not commonly used, therefore you think it's like cheating or you think it's hacks, but anybody can do these. But yeah, it's really cool to see like just so many people using different things that I came across throughout the years and shared over my channel.
They are fantastic videos. So again, anybody who hasn't seen and is looking for some technical things or some farms, then Ray's got some fantastic designs on there. Now, looking into the future in terms of what you do in Minecraft, if you had infinite time and infinite resources and infinite array, what would you like to do in Minecraft? What would be your dream project?
Oh my goodness, I have so many crazy ideas. So typically, because a lot of my ideas are really out there, like beyond my even ability to understand them or finish them, I came to this conclusion that I just have to start. Yeah. Even if I don't finish, I just have to start. So I have a couple really big projects. Like I have Farm Everything, where I'm trying to make a farm for every item in the game Minecraft. Wow. And that one's interesting. There's over 1,100 items, and I think I'm at 90% currently. So yeah, but towards the end it's gonna get really hard. I also got this collect every mob in the game, not just every basic mob, but every type of every mob. Ooh. So like super rare ones with jack-o'-lanterns and diamond armor on and all that crazy stuff.
I mean, even with just the tropical fish, that's thousands, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the tropical fish. Tropical fish. Yeah. So there's some really big projects, and I would say they're all future projects because I'm never really gonna finish them, but I feel good just starting them. I also like have like a project where I'm trying to collect all the different rares. There's a lot of discontinued items that when new update comes out, they sometimes like remove certain types of items. You don't really hear about it, but there are some in the game, and I like keep track of those and collecting those. So that's some of the really big projects that they're just going to take time. They're probably never going to finish.
One of the things that you focus on is what is capable in the game, but what would be the one thing that you would like to see added to the game?
Yeah, that's another great question. Obviously, I love doing stuff in automation. I love automating farms, automating processes, AFKing. I would say if they find kind of a Minecrafty way to start adding in different automatic crafting. I wouldn't say like automatic crafting full out, but one idea I had was maybe a machine that you can put like your flowers into, and then it'll just grind it down into the dyes, because there's, with the change that they made where all the dyes are their individual items. So even if you have like a cocoa bean, Like that
Yes.
cocoa bean is no longer brown dye. You have to still craft it down into brown
Yeah.
dye. So I was thinking some type of machine that maybe even took some kind of resources, some kind of power
Mm.
to run, and it could grind everything down into dyes, and it can even probably like dye or grind bones into bone meal. I don't know.
Oh.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would, and it would be that would be very Minecrafty as well if you had like
Yeah, that's what I was
something.
looking for.
Is there one thing in the game? So you've been playing for a long time. Is there one thing in the game that you wish you were better at?
Yeah, I'd say building, making stuff look nice. I'm not very good at that. It's something I time to time throughout my Minecraft career, I guess you could call it. I've dabbled in trying to make stuff look nice, and it is fun. Like the same joy I get from designing new things, you can get like that same joy just by, making something look nice. So maybe in the future, I always say like if I get bored of something, there's just so much in Minecraft, I would just kind of switch over, do a little bit more building or something.
What was it that drew you to focusing on the technical aspects of the game?
Yeah, it's really goes back to when the game started, and they sort of added in some physics like sand falling
Mm.
and water. Water can move mobs and entities, and that type of thing really made me want to look more into that. And prior to playing Minecraft, I played RuneScape, and I was kind of a technical player on there, looking for different. People would call them glitches, but
Mm.
that was just the way I played it. And I kind of took that knowledge and applied it to Minecraft. So I was able to find things that other people didn't really were looking for. They didn't. They're like, oh yeah, it's a new game. But I was already looking for these things and trying to ask those really hard questions.
With those things in that technical side of things, one of the things I think you've been trying to do is to collect every item in the game as a dropped entity. What makes you want to do things like that? So I saw that you were trying to collect bedrock as an item, for example.
Yeah, yeah. It really goes back to kind of saying like how far can you take the game, and obviously like a couple you might first you might make like a sugarcane farm like, oh yeah, that's cool, and then you're like, okay, but how far can you actually go? Can you make like a book farm? Maybe you can't make a book farm, so what's the next best thing? And then you try to find kind of a mediocre in between solution, and as you look through some of the items, you're like, oh, I wonder if I can make a beacon farm. And it's like, well, looks like you can make a beacon farm. So yeah, I think it's really just asking questions that you might not typically ask.
Going back to you a little bit, you've got a very distinctive skin there. Where did you get your skin?
I actually made this skin several years ago. I was like, oh, I had a couple other skins. I was like, I just want to make my own skin. So I gave it a try. I never really changed it. So
Yeah.
it has still I don't know what you call it, the flat kind of. I think I did elevate the mustache, but I think everything else is still flat.
A little bit the man behind the skin. What is it that you like to do in your spare time when you're not playing Minecraft?
Yeah, so a lot of people think that I play other games, and I actually don't play. Minecraft's the only game I play, but I do other things. I like outdoors. I enjoy like hiking and fishing. So I do have other hobbies. They're just not game related or computer related.
Thank you very much for answering those questions. That brings us to the end of our first section. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut away to some footage that we shot earlier of Ray arriving at the studio and seeing how well he knew the game. So, yeah, we'll join you back after that for some quick-fire questions.
I just been dropped off at Adie's studio. I'm here for my interview. Might be a bit late, so let's quickly get inside and see what's all going on. Ooh, nice. Hello.
Adie Studios. Hi, Rays. We were expecting you.
Hey, this place is
It's nice.
nice.
It's pretty nice. I know he's a bit of he's got a fat wallet. Our Adie does. He splashes out. I'll bring you back to the green room, and you can wait for Adie there, and make yourself comfortable, and he'll come get you when he's ready.
Sounds good.
He's probably doing something fancy, Adie,
Hair and makeup.
Oh yeah, you don't look like you need hair and makeup, but if
Okay.
you do, it's right here.
Ooh, nice.
You have to do your own hair and makeup, though. He won't splash out for somebody else to do it. Believe me, you don't want me doing your hair and makeup, because look at me. Trust me. So yeah, we've got food, drinks, TV, got a bunny
Ooh,
button
nice.
if you need anything. Just give me a shout.
Will do it. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'll call Adie, let him know you're here. Okay, bye.
See ya.
Ah, Bunny has just let me know that our next guest has arrived at the studio, and we have the fantastic RaysWorks here today. So I'm just going to head down and see whether he's in makeup or the green room. Ah, there he is. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, how goes it?
It's good, thank you. Welcome to the studios, and it's great to have you on the show today.
Thanks for inviting me. It's
Yes.
an amazing place you got here.
Thank you very, very much. I hope that Bunny treated you well when she was showing you through to this place. And did she give you the waivers?
No.
It's okay. We can sort the health and safety waivers out after this. I mean, there's nothing that happens here that you need to worry about anyway. But it's probably a good idea if you just click yourself on that bed just over there.
Okay.
No reason. You don't need to be worried about anything. But if you'll just follow me, our first section today is a section that's called "How Well Do You Know Minecraft?" And I'm sure a man of your caliber is perfectly versed in many things that most people wouldn't even have a clue existed. So if I can ask you to stand in front of that dropper and press the button, it will give you an item.
Okay. I got pufferfish.
Fantastic. If you would be so kind as to climb this ladder and just perch yourself on that iron trapdoor on the top there. I will get myself some motivational snowballs and sit myself down here, and hopefully you're nice and comfortable up there.
Yeah, I guess.
Probably best you don't look down, because we've got some of the studio pets down there beneath you, but nothing to worry about. As I say, we'll get you signed up on the waivers afterwards, and you've clicked on the bed, so nothing to worry about. Most of these questions, we're going to start with some very, very easy questions. They do get a little bit harder as time goes on, but as I say, I'm sure you've got nothing to worry about. So are you comfortable up there?
As comfortable as it can be.
Brilliant. So the first question for you is, what are the drops that you would get from a spider?
String and spider eye.
Fantastic. See, I told you, nothing to worry about at all. Which mob, when you swim near it, makes you swim faster?
Dolphin.
Exactly. Absolutely spot on. Next question is a crafting question. So how would you go about crafting a diamond hoe?
2 diamonds and 2 sticks.
Absolutely correct. See, you're absolutely flying, sir. Next question for you is, how many varieties of chest plate can you get?
Ooh. Let's see. There's leather, chain, gold, iron, diamond, netherite.
That is correct. See, you're doing really, really well. The next question for you is, what workstation would you need in order to get a weaponsmith?
Ooh.
Now, I know that you're not...
Yeah, I don't play too much of the newer versions. Okay, so my options, weapons. I know there is... there's a couple ones that are similar. I'm talking about the weaponsmith. There's a smithing table, and then there's the grindstone.
Indeed, there are.
And I think it's grindstone, because I think the other one goes to the armor guy. I don't know. I'm gonna say grindstone.
And you're absolutely correct. Absolutely.
Okay.
the next question.
Power of elimination.
Yeah, and brilliant deductive reasoning there as well. So great work on that. The next question is, how many trapdoors are there available in the game?
Ooh. There's one for every tree type, and then there's also iron. So I guess the question is how many trees there is. Let's see, there's acacia. Well, let's start. Oak, birch, spruce, jungle, acacia, dark oak, crimson, warped, and iron. Would that be 9?
That is correct. You're doing fantastically. I think you're actually doing better than any of the other guests we've had so far. But the questions do get progressively harder. So you're doing well. You might be the first ever guest to survive. So the next question is: what color dye would you get from an allium?
Light blue. Allium?
The allium. Light blue?
Allium. That's not a blue one, is it? That's a pinkish one.
It may well be, or it may be light blue. I'm not going to give you any hints. Just some motivational snowballs.
I recently had a comment. Somebody didn't even know that allium was an item in the game. They're like, "What is allium?" So I actually looked it up and made sure I was spelling it correctly. And I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess some pink. I'm just gonna guess pink.
Oh, what a good guess! But unfortunately,
No.
unfortunately, it's magenta. So
So close.
sadly, we've lost another guest. But hopefully, we can resurrect Ray, and he can join me on the sofa to answer some much easier questions about him and his Minecraft journey. Welcome back. Well, Ray did fantastically well in the How Well Do You Know Minecraft section, which a technical player like him it shows that technical knowledge, but unfortunately he's still demised somewhat, and it was the flower related questions that just caught him out. So but he's back now on the sofa with us, and we're going to ask some quick fire questions. So Ray, the first of these questions is, what is your favourite food in the game?
A steak, I guess.
And what is your favourite food outside of the game in real life?
Ooh, I would say hamburger.
Ooh, just a plain hamburger or cheeseburger?
Yeah, with everything.
Would you choose horses or llamas?
Ooh, horses.
A guitar bass or a bass guitar?
I'm not informed.
What is your favourite stone in the game?
Granite.
Ooh, nice choice. Mods or COD?
Wait, what was the first one?
Mods as in game mods, or COD as in COD the fish?
Oh, I don't like mods. I'd say COD then.
Okay, what is your favourite month?
Ooh, October.
Hardcore or Birch Door?
Birch Door.
What is your favourite movie?
Ooh, I would say Residence of Evil.
A charged creeper or a consistent sleeper?
Assistant Sleeper.
The Ender Dragon or the Wither?
Ooh, Wither.
An iron farm or feeling calm?
Iron Farm.
What is your favourite tree?
Oh, I'm gonna have to say probably Crimson.
Ooh, yeah, one of the new trees. Very, very nice choice. And what is your favourite mob?
Zombie. So many variations.
Yeah, when you bring in all the husks and all the things. So, yeah, good choice. Villager trading or space invading?
Villager trading.
What is your favourite biome in the game?
Ooh, the Broken Savannah, something like that.
The
Shattered Savannah, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's a lovely, beautiful biome. One of my favourites as well. Bedrock or an electric shock?
Bedrock.
What is your favourite place in the world?
Ooh, I would say somewhere calm and peaceful.
What is your favourite build style in the game?
I didn't know there was more than one style. I would say probably steampunk. I think I've seen some pretty cool steampunk.
Yeah, I love a bit of steampunk myself. A shulker shell or a gunpowder smell?
Gunpowder smell.
Speed runs or humorous puns?
Humorous puns.
Java or guava?
I'm going with Java.
Okay. Dragon Ball Z or an acacia tree?
Acacia tree.
A guardian farm or some rustic charm?
Guardian farm.
Evil Knievel or building medieval?
Eva Knievel's pretty good.
What is your favourite TV show?
Ooh, dang. I guess I would choose probably Big Bang.
Yeah, good choice. A flying machine or Avril Lavigne?
Ooh, flying machines.
A chicken jockey or roller hockey?
Oh, I gotta go for chicken jockey.
And the last question for you today, Ray, is Slimestone or Sylvester Stallone?
I'll take Slimestone.
Fantastic, as I expected you probably would for that question. But yeah, thank you very, very much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show and hearing about your technical exploits. So as mentioned, Ray's details are all in the description beneath, so if you don't already, make sure that you go and check those out. They are fantastic. And yeah, just last thing to say, Ray, is thank you very, very much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me on your Adie.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. And the only thing to say for you fine people at home is thank you very, very much for watching. And I will see you next time on AdieCraft. Bye.